I love history and I love research. In general, there's always sort of a story in terms of my work. So there's always pieces to the story, but the whole thing is never laid out. So there's always some detective work that you have to do. The biggest part for me is not just finding the first model, but finding that the first model is Mary Alexander, who's an amazing woman.
During the 50s and coming forward, you did not see a lot of African Americans modeling for any company. I went for the interview and there were about 75 other girls there. And I was frightened half to death. I was really afraid. Because when I walked in the room and I saw 75 other girls, I said, Lord, why am I here? I shouldn't be here. So I went back to my room and I cried. So a couple of days later, she came to me and said, Miss Cowser, you are now going to model for Coca-Cola. So he would shake his head and he'd look and didn't say very much, and I'm just talking a mile a minute. And I said, well, maybe I'll show him the check that I received. So at this last session, they gave me a $600 check. And that was more money than I had ever seen in my life. $600 check in 1955. And I believe that was a lot of money for my dad to see. When I showed him that check, he said, $600 for taking your picture? I said, yes, Dad. He said, well, you can do it. He was very happy. And I told him, Dad, I can pay my tuition for my senior year with a $600 check. He said, I will allow you then to go on and do this.
She was sort of this shy student who didn't want to go to do a Coke ad. Once she was selected to do the Coke ad, it's almost like from that point she felt like she could do anything. So she went on to be the first African-American teacher in her school district and the first African-American principal in her school district. So after 1955, it's like trailblazing was just part of what she did. All the ads that Mary Alexander was featured in were families. It was sort of the first time African Americans saw themselves and family in advertising. So to say, well, there have been billboards for years that had, a certain family on there, but now I'm included. We're as American as apple pie. And here's our family.